Don't make this mistake if you're wanting to create a successful online coaching business. Many early stage entrepreneurs at one point or another were convinced by someone that if they just showed up with consistency and created enough content, that eventually their business would grow. The bad news is that's a lie. The good news, I've got the remedy for you today. Understanding lead generation is one of the most important elements for you to be able to build and scale an online coaching business. And I want to break down what that looks like and how you can start executing today using what we call KLT. It's know, like, and trust factors so that you can connect with the people that you want to serve, you can start to grow your business and get you where you want to be. What's going on? David here from Generation Impact, where we teach you how not to suck in your online coaching business and how to get paid for it. So the myth about content creation is that if you build it, they will come. At one point or another, many of us were convinced that if we just set out to creating regular content and we showed up day in and day out and we engaged with the people that engaged with our content, that eventually our businesses would grow. As I'm sure you probably know by now, that's not true. And the reason is a misunderstanding that content creation is simply for context. What I mean by that is that when people come and engage with your content, they are engaging with who you are and what you're putting out. But a lot of times there's not even strategy to that content. You're just putting out content, putting out content, putting out content. And many people have been convinced that this is how you collect leads, right? As you find people who want to potentially work with you. But I want to break this down for you in simplest terms today to help you understand that content creation is not lead generation. The way of how online business has worked over the years has transitioned so much that now part of the challenge is how do you actually attract, magnetize, and find the people that are a good fit to work with you so that you can coach them, you can help them, you can serve them, you can grow your business, and you can help them transform their life. Enter lead generation. Lead generation is a term that many people use in different industries that kind of correlate to how do you actually generate or create a lead? How do you find someone and attract them to you and develop a type of relationship where they trust you enough to say, I will exchange my money for the service that you provide? It comes down to three things. I want you to write these three things down. We've got three words that are going to be kind of the guideposts for as you move forward into lead generation. Number one is connection. Number two is communication. And number three is conversion. If we think about this in simplest terms, dating is a great example, right? Let's just say you are a coach, right? And you are wanting to woo someone into a relationship. You see someone that you want to have as a potential client. If we use a dating example, it's kind of like if you're at a bar, you're at a restaurant, you're somewhere, and you see a person across the way and you're attracted to them in some way, shape, or form. But the reality is that you don't know them. You don't necessarily like them, and you don't trust them because you don't know them at all in any capacity, but there's something about them that's intriguing to you. And say you want to take the next step in order to create a conversation. Well, the first thing that you have to do is you have to connect. Someone has to be the initiator to create that point of connection in order for you to even start to get to know the person. As you continue to communicate with this individual, you start to develop a little bit more of the like factor. Woohoo! You like this person or you don't like the person. What you'll find out on a date very, very quickly, or even if you're not even on a date, just the initial conversation, you made that point of connection, you start interacting with that person, communicating with that person, you're going to quickly find out whether or not this person vibes with you, if you really like them. But then there's also the trust element. And trust is one of those things that it takes time. Now, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but I do want to give you a systematic approach to how you can use lead generation in connecting with people that you want to serve. So let's say, for example, you're a health coach, okay? If you're a health coach, there are certain elements to the type of client that you want to help serve. They're focused on their health or their nutrition, their body, weight loss, something to that effect. But there are also certain attributes about your typical client or the client that you want to work with that are similarities across the board. And most often these are things that are very similar to you, your likes, your interests. If we think about the people that we like to spend the most time with, most often we are congregating with people that have similar beliefs. They have similar thinking patterns. They agree with many of the things that we agree with. And the reason that we are a part of those tribal type communities, that we congregate together, is because we feel safe. We feel secure. We feel like we belong. They're our people. As far as lead generation is concerned, though, it can be very overwhelming on how to find people in an online context unless you have some strategy to it. And here's the most important part. You have to remember that lead generation does not mean that you're going straight for the sale. The one thing that we stand against so strongly is going out and just cold DMing people and sending them messages trying to hawk your stuff and sell your coaching services. Do not do that. What we want you to do is to focus on the type of person that you want to be serving and thinking about where are they congregating online? What influencers are they following? What hashtags are they using? What communities or online groups or forums are they a part of? What social media platforms are they using? If you start to map these things out and start to think about these things, you'll start to have a better understanding of who you want to serve, and it's going to make it easier for you to be able to find them. Now, one of my favorite strategies is using what I call self-identifying hashtags. Okay, so write that down, self-identifying hashtags. This process is going to help you be able to establish the know, like, and trust factors in order for people to come to a place where they are ready and willing to exchange their money for the coaching services that you provide. Self-identifying hashtags in simplest terms is you thinking about what is my ideal client, this person that I want to serve, my ideal client avatar, my dream client. What are they talking about on social media? Are they even talking on social media? Because this lead generation strategy, particularly for online coaches, online trainers, online business owners, this is not just the only way to do lead generation. There are thousands of ways to do lead generation, and you've probably seen them in multiple different areas of your life, whether it's someone calling you on the phone, or you get a letter in the mail, or somebody knocks on your door soliciting, right? There are so many different ways to do lead generation, but this way, the way that I want to teach you today, is one of the most incredible ways to do it because it allows you to feel aligned, and it makes you not salesy, not manipulative, and it makes sure that in creating an actual relationship that you are qualifying that person by finding out whether or not you even want to proceed in a relationship with them. Versus what most entrepreneurs do, which is they're just grabbing at whatever. They're just trying to find somebody that will buy their stuff. And it feels very, very fake. It feels very insecure. It comes from a place of scarcity, and the people that they're reaching out to can feel it. This way, in developing the know, like, and trust factor, again, using what I call self-identifying hashtags, is very simple. If you're a health coach and you think about what your typical client or the type of client you want to be working with is posting about on social media, what are they talking about? If they're posting and they're on a weight loss journey or they're transforming their health, what are the type of keywords or hashtags that they're using in their content? What YouTube channels are they watching? What influencers are they following? Again, where are they spending their time online to help them accomplish their goals? Because if you can insert yourself into their environment and get to know them, you will then start to establish the know, like, and trust factor and magnetize or attract them to you because you are adding value to their life and you are giving to them in exchange for connecting and developing a relationship, communicating, which eventually can lead to a conversion. But we don't know that just yet. So how do we do this in a practical way? If you're a health coach and someone is on a weight loss journey, maybe you look for hashtags like hashtag weight loss journey, and you find the posts from people that are using that hashtag in their content. Here's how this is incredible. If you think about how you as an individual, if you put out a piece of content, if someone engages with that content, they heart it, they comment, and they start following you, how does that make you feel? It makes us feel great, number one, but it also is intriguing, especially if we don't know who the person is. If you have a stranger, a complete stranger you've never met before, comment on your post and like it and start following you, chances are you're probably going to want to do some investigating. You're going to start asking questions like, did I go to high school with this person? How do I know this person? What they said was really, really kind. And what are we going to do? We're going to click on their profile and go check out and see if we can figure out how we know them or if we know them. But if we just flip this process and you are the one that's giving first, you are the one that is going out and engaging with their content first, the exact same thing is going to happen. They're going to feel edified, encouraged. They're going to feel great that somebody engaged with their content, but they're also going to come check out what you're all about. This is where content and context are so important. When they land on your profile and they start looking around trying to figure out, how do I know this person? Is this person a psycho weirdo or are they amazing? They're going to start contextualizing who you are. And this is the foundation of the know and like. They're like, I don't know this person, but I kind of feel like I'm vibing here. I like the stuff that they're talking about. This resonates with me. I like this. Yeah, I will follow them back. What you've effectively done is you've given first. And because of that, because of your desire to give, now they, in some way, shape, or form, have reciprocated. Now, this doesn't always happen, but it is incredibly effective, because what will happen if they start following you back is that you now have an opportunity to open a conversation. You can send them a direct message that says, hey, I loved your post about such and such. Seems like it looks like you're on a weight loss journey. I love, talking about things that are all oriented around health and nutrition. Would love to create a conversation with you. And that's all that you do. And what you find is that you create the conversation, which is the communication element. That's number 2. This is how you really, really develop a sense of liking that person. They're going to decide whether or not they like you or dislike you, and vice versa. Because you're not going straight for wedding day. The same thing back to our dating example is that if you're going to ask somebody out on a date, first and foremost, you're going to connect with them. You're going to find out whether or not you actually want to ask them out on a date. Then if you do go out on a date, it's going to take a little bit of time before you are thinking, man, I want to marry this person. It's the same thing with sales, is that you are equally qualifying that individual in the same way they are qualifying you. But if you lead with giving and serving, and you go to where they are, where they're spending time online, and you engage with them first, they will be magnetized and attracted to you because you gave. You gave to them first. You engaged with their content. Now they will start interacting and following you. And if you create that conversation in direct messages or however that is non-salesy, it's not threatening, it's not manipulative, it is not slimy, it's simply just asking questions to get to know them as a human being. Now, the reason this is so interesting and so useful is because you know that that individual has a very high probability of becoming a client of yours. Because you were intentional with your self-identifying hashtags, knowing your client, knowing the person that you want to serve. So you're not just randomly going out there and building this network of people that aren't going to be useful. Having an expansive network is great, but you're focused on growing your business. And so if you're doing this systematically day in and day out, lead generating by going and engaging with these people, you will start to find day in and day out, people start following you. More people start engaging with your content, which again is helping them contextualize who you are. And that is where the trust comes in, is the more content that you create after you've done the lead generation, the more that people will start to trust who you are. And the more conversation you're having with them behind closed doors, indirect messages, via email, connecting, Zoom, whatever, that is where you are qualifying to find out, can I actually help this person? Are they the type of person that I'd want to work with? Are they qualified to be working with me? And that's a simple reframe against what most entrepreneurs are doing, is they're just starving for anyone that will throw money at them. And that is not the way to build something that is long-term, sustainable, something that you feel incredible about every single day. And it's also not how you're going to attract the people that are more than happy to pay you what you're worth. So I hope this has been useful for you. Again, know, like, and trust. Use lead generation. Remember the 3 C's. Remember it's connection, it's communication, which eventually will lead to conversions. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on that little bell for notifications for any upcoming videos. Be blessed. We'll see you soon.